If you're curious about Italy but unsure how to move to the country, this video is for you. In this video, we'll give a simple overview of how Italy's immigration system works, breaking down some key terms like in-quota visas, extra-quota visas, Nulla Osta, no impediment certificate, etc. We'll also cover some of the most popular residency permit options in Italy and their corresponding visas: work visa, startup visa, self-employment visa, elective residence visa, golden visa, and digital nomad visa, as well as the requirements for applying for permanent residence and citizenship in this country. Italy is part of the Schengen area, so if you're from the EU, Switzerland, or any of the countries marked in green on the map, you can come here visa-free. If you're from elsewhere, you'll need to apply for a Schengen visa before visiting the country. If you're a non-EU citizen and you're thinking about staying in Italy long-term, you'll need a residence visa and corresponding temporary residence permit, also known as permesso di soggiorno. Now, Italy's visa system is split into two main categories: in-quota visas and extra-quota visas. In-quota visas refer to work visas that are limited by the Italian government each year with fixed quotas and specific application windows. These include the following types. First, we have work visa, which is the most common. It's for non-EU citizens employed by companies in Italy. While regular work visas are subject to quotas, there are special visas like the EU Blue Card, van der Els visa, or special work permits. These are based on things like your salary, skills, and experience and don't have those quota limits. Next is seasonal employment visa. This one is mainly issued to non-EU citizens working in seasonal industries such as tourism or agriculture in Italy. Startup visa is issued to non-EU citizens who are interested in founding a new and highly innovative company in Italy. Self-employment visa requires applicants to secure one or more contracts with Italian clients worth over €8,500 for the coming year. Additionally, an Italian committee in the relevant field must certify that your freelance activity poses no risk to the Italian economy. For 2024, the in-quota visa application window opens in February, with a total of 151,000 work visas available. Of these, 89,050 are for seasonal workers, 61,950 for non-seasonal workers, and 800 for self-employed or startup applicants. Keep in mind, if you submit your application before February or after the quota for your visa is filled, it'll be automatically rejected. Extra-quota visas do not have quota limitations or application windows and are available to applicants who meet the standard requirements. These include the following categories. Investor visa, which is often referred to as golden visa, gives you 4 residency by investment options: investing €250,000 in a new high-tech startup, €500,000 in an Italian company, donating €1 million to public interest projects, or investing €2 million in Italian government bonds. Then we have EU Blue Card. This is for highly skilled professionals who've been offered a contract by an Italian company. You'll need to show that you have exceptional qualifications with a salary of at least €27,000 per year. Another popular one is the Italian Elective residence visa. This is for financially independent individuals who want to live in Italy long-term without working. Applicants will need to prove that you have a passive income of at least €32,000 annually. Digital nomad visa is a great option for non-EU remote workers who earn at least €26,000 per year and meet other work experience criteria. In addition to these 4 popular visas, there are other extra-quota visas like intercompany visa, service agreement visa, research visa, sports visa, au-pair placement visa, nurse visa, artist visa, and visa for interpreters and translators. There are also other common visa types, such as the student visa, religious visa, volunteer visa, and medical care visa. These work similarly to visas in other countries, so we won't dive too deeply into those here. Most long-term residence visas in Italy can be converted into residence permits, which are valid for 1 to 2 years. Once your residence permit expires, you can renew it as long as you spent more than half of its validity period in Italy. After 5 years of legal residency, non-EU citizens can apply for permanent residency, as long as they haven't spent more than 10 months outside of Italy during that time. After holding permanent residency for another 5 years, so a total of 10 years, non-EU citizens can apply for Italian citizenship. To do this, you'll need to pass a test on Italian and European history and culture and show proficiency in the Italian language. Italy allows dual citizenship, so you won't need to give up your original nationality when you apply. Now in the next section, we'll take a closer look at some of the most common Italian visas: golden visa, work visa, elective residence visa, self-employment visa, and digital nomad visa. Italian investor visa program, also known as Golden Visa, officially launched in 2017, offering non-EU investors 4 pathways to obtain residency. You can choose to invest €250,000 in a new high-tech startup in Italy, or invest €500,000 in acquiring shares or equity in an Italian company. For both of these options, you can apply for the visa as a company rather than an individual. Alternatively, you can donate €1 million to a philanthropic initiative in Italy. Lastly, you can invest €2 million in Italian government bonds. Regardless of which option you choose, you must prove that your annual income was at least €8,500 in the year prior to your application. Compared to other Golden Visa programs in Southern Europe, the Italian Golden Visa offers 3 key advantages. First, you can apply and obtain the visa before making the investment. Second, the process is generally quicker and easier to pass. Third, Italy offers a special tax regime for investors. Under this regime, new residents can pay a flat tax of €200,000 annually and be exempt from taxes on income generated outside of Italy. They are also only required to pay gift and inheritance taxes on assets within the country. The special tax regime lasts for 15 years. So how do you get started? For long-term Italian residency visas like Golden Visa, the first step is to apply online for a background check certificate called Nulla Osta. This process takes about a month. Different Italian agencies handle different types of Nulla Osta applications. For the Golden Visa, the Ministry of Economic Development's Secretariat of the Committee reviews the background of both the applicant and their family members. Generally, applicants can expect one of 3 outcomes: approval, rejection, or a request to submit additional documents within 30 days. While your nationality theoretically doesn't affect your application, except for citizens of Russia and Belarus, applicants from certain countries may be asked to provide more detailed documentation to prove the legality of their funds, or may be required to transfer the investment funds to an Italian bank. Once your Nulla Osta is approved, it is valid for 6 months. During this time, you must gather all necessary documents, fill out the application form, and submit your Golden Visa application to an Italian consulate or embassy. The approval process typically takes around a month. Once your visa is approved, you'll receive a 2-year visa allowing you to freely enter Italy to live. After arriving in Italy, you must visit the local police station Questura within 8 working days to apply for a residence permit. You also need to complete your promised investment within 3 months and submit proof of completion via the immigration office's online platform to finalize your residency status. In reality, the immigration process can vary from region to region, and Italy's bureaucracy can sometimes be unpredictable, so expect some changes in procedures. To track the progress of your Golden Visa or any other Italian visa or residence permit, you can visit poliziadestato.it. The Italian residence permit granted under Golden Visa is valid for 2 years, and you can renew it for 3 more years as long as the investment is maintained. After living in Italy for 5 years, investors can apply for permanent residency. Once you obtain permanent residency, you are free to withdraw your investment without affecting your residency status. Another investment visa available in Italy is Startup Visa, designed for non-EU entrepreneurs who want to establish a new and highly innovative company within the country. To qualify, your company must be less than 5 years old, headquartered or with a branch in Italy, have an annual turnover of no more than €5 million, and focus on high-tech products or services. Benefits of this visa include reduced bureaucracy and flexible labor policies. The startup must also meet at least one of the following 3 conditions. First, at least 15% of its expenses must be dedicated to research and development activities. Second, your team must consist of at least 1/3 PhD students or holders of PhDs, or personnel with at least 3 years of research experience, or at least 2/3 must hold master's degrees. Lastly, your team must own, hold, or license a patent, an industrial property right, or original software registered with SIAE, the Italian Society of Authors and Publishers. The application process for Startup Visa is similar to Golden Visa. First, you need to apply for a Nulla Osta from the Italian Startup Committee, then submit your visa application at an Italian consulate or embassy. After receiving the visa, you must apply for a residence permit within 8 days of entering Italy at the local police headquarters. To get the Nulla Osta for the Startup Visa, you'll need a detailed business plan, a presentation deck of your project, an online application form, and a confirmation letter from the incubator's legal representative if your project is supported by an Italian incubator. You'll also need proof of financial resources to support yourself and evidence that your project can secure at least €50,000 in investment, whether from yourself or third-party investors, and a copy of your passport. These documents should be sent to Italia Startup Visa at mies.gov with the subject: Application ISV, your first name and last name. The good news is that the entire startup visa process can be done in English, including the forms, information materials, and customer support. It typically takes about 30 days to process. If your application is rejected, you have 60 days to appeal. Once approved, the startup visa gives you a 1-year residence permit. If you spend more than 6 months outside Italy during that year and your company is doing well, you can renew the permit annually until you qualify for permanent residency or leave Italy. Italian elective residency visa is one of the most popular passive income visa programs in Europe, issued to non-EU citizens who wish to live in Italy without working and can sustain themselves through stable passive income sources such as rental property income, interest from savings, dividends from financial products, or pensions. Now, to qualify for this visa, you must demonstrate a minimum annual passive income of 32,000 euros. If you're applying with your spouse, that amount goes up by 20%, so you'll need to show a total of 38,000 euros. And if you're bringing children for each additional child, you'll need to show an extra 5% in passive income. But here's the thing, 32,000 euros is just the bare minimum. Real income requirements can vary depending on where you apply. To apply, you must submit an application in person at an Italian consulate or embassy and attend an interview to secure the visa. Different consulates may ask for higher income levels based on your specific circumstances and the nature of your income. For example, some U.S. consulates have been known to require 50,000 euros to 60,000 euros as the minimum. It's important to note that Italian elective residency visa is considered one of the hardest passive income visas to get in Europe. During the pandemic, rejection rates soared to 75%, largely due to the strict requirement that all income must be entirely passive. So, if you're looking for alternatives, other European options worth considering include Spain's non-lucrative visa, Portugal's passive income visa, Greece's financially independent person visa, and France's VLST Visitor. If you're successful in obtaining elective residency visa, it's initially valid for 1 year. After that, you can renew it every 2 years under the same conditions. After 5 years of residency, you can apply for permanent residency in Italy. Next, let's dive into Italian work visa, which is mainly divided into 5 categories: seasonal work visa, salaried work visa, self-employment visa, van der Elst visa, and digital nomad visa. Salaried work visa is part of the in-quota visa system, meaning it's subject to specific quotas and application windows. However, if you're a highly skilled professional, you can bypass these quotas by applying for EU Blue Card. As with other long-term Italian visas, in order to apply for a work visa, you must first secure a contract with an Italian employer. Then your employer will need to apply for a Nulla Osta for your job, and either you or your employer must purchase a health insurance policy for you with coverage of at least 30,000 euros per year. Once the Nulla Osta is approved, you'll need to visit an Italian consulate or embassy to apply for your work visa. The processing time for a work visa typically ranges from 2 to 30 days. After arriving in Italy with a work visa, you'll need to convert your work visa into a residence permit. A salary work permit is generally valid for up to 2 years, depending on the length of your contract. It can be renewed for up to a maximum of 5 years. If you're looking for job opportunities in Italy, some of the most popular job websites include Monster, Indeed, JobRapido, CareerJet, Eurojobs, and Job Meeting. Self-employment visa is specifically designed for professionals who intend to engage in regulated or unregulated professions in Italy. It is divided into 2 types, one for freelancers and another for foreign executives or auditors employed by Italian companies. For freelancers, to qualify for self-employment visa, you must have earned at least 8,500 euros in the previous year and have contracts from 1 or more Italian clients for the upcoming year, totaling at least 8,500 euros. Additionally, you must demonstrate that you have sufficient financial resources to start and carry out your freelance activity in Italy. To apply, you'll first need to get a certificate of no impediment from the relevant professional board in your industry. Then, just like other Italian visas, you'll also need a Nulla Osta for a background check. Once you've got those 2 documents, you can gather everything else you need and head to an Italian consulate or embassy to submit your application in person. The processing time for this one is typically around 2 months. Self-employment visa, like salaried work visa, is an in-quota visa in Italy, so it's subject to quotas and application windows. This visa is valid for 1 year. If, at the end of the year, you haven't spent more than 6 months outside of Italy, you can renew the visa under the same conditions. After 5 years, you can apply for permanent residency. Now let's talk about digital nomad visa, which is an exciting new option that Italy started offering in April 2024. This visa allows non-EU remote workers to live and work in Italy legally. To qualify for digital nomad visa, you need to have a remote job with an annual income of at least 26,000 euros and meet one of the following three conditions. You hold a university degree or have several years of experience in a highly skilled industry. Or you have at least 5 years of professional experience or a relevant professional certification. If you work in IT, the requirement can be relaxed to 3 years of experience within the last 7 years. Or if your profession requires a license, you have a professional qualification or certification issued by another EU country. At the moment, there's no online platform to apply for Italian digital nomad visa, so you'll need to gather all required documents and schedule an in-person appointment at your nearest Italian consulate or embassy. Once your visa is approved, you can legally enter Italy and must convert digital nomad visa into a residence permit within 8 days of arriving. Italian digital nomad visa is valid for 1 year and can be renewed annually under the same conditions until you either leave Italy or reach the 5-year mark, at which point you can apply for permanent residency. However, one potential downside to Italian digital nomad visa is that visa holders are automatically considered Italian tax residents, meaning you'll have to pay taxes on your global income and contribute to Italy's social security system. However, Italy has tax treaties with many countries to avoid double taxation. If your home country has a tax treaty with Italy, you may be able to offset taxes paid in Italy against your taxes at home. Italy is not the only appealing destination for residency. We're currently working on a video series called How to Get Residency in Different Countries. If you're interested, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, check out our previous videos, and stay tuned for the upcoming ones. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.